This is the Alcohol Free Lifestyle Podcast, where you learn to live a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness.
You know, sometimes social media can be a great thing. And I found something that really resonated, a trend that deserves attention and deserves to gain some traction. It's not the Tide Pod Challenge, I promise. Uh, I do feel pretty cool sharing it, and maybe my kids will be impressed. Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria English, head coach at Alcohol Free Lifestyle. So, what is this hip, cool thing I'm talking about? We're talking about why October is the new January, AKA the winter arc. It's an idea that we're going to dive into, and it's gaining some momentum. October is the new January. You may have seen some content created by Chloe Van Berkel, where she talks about this. If you haven't seen it, it's okay. I'm going to do my best to break it down for you. October is being recognized as the perfect time to pause, reflect, and hit that reset button on our lives. Typically, the kind of things we do in January. What would it look like to do that now, to do that in October? We're going to talk about it and why October might be a prime time to consider your relationship with alcohol. So we're past the summer rush. I know a lot of us had kind of an extended summer, which has been nice. I'm over in Colorado and it is still very fall like, which is lovely. Sometimes we've had our first snow as early as the first week of October. And so we're really savoring the leaves and the temperatures that are warm enough during the day to go out walking in shorts or even just a t-shirt and shorts and shoes. So it's a great season, isn't it? And it's right on the cusp of the holidays, the big events. It's a nice space to do a little reflection before the chaos kicks in and boom, next thing you know, you're putting away your Christmas decorations. It's a calm, reflective window where you can look back on the year from January 1st, 2024, assess how you're feeling, and make changes that will set you up for success as the year wraps up. Now, in Project 90, our 90-day stop drinking program, we work with high performers. We work with people who are definitely future forecasting and preparing. And so this kind of thing is right up their alley. These aren't people who are going to go back to work after January 1st and figure out what they want it to look like. What do we want business to look like in the first quarter? No way. So this idea may really appeal to you if you resonate with that description. So Chloe Van Berkel did a great job explaining this. Maybe you've been feeling burnt out. Maybe you've noticed, you know deep down, or it's quite obvious that some habits aren't serving you anymore. This space in October gives you the opportunity to reevaluate and make those key adjustments so that when you go into the first quarter of 2025, things are already running along smoothly. So let's turn to the alcohol. Why is October a great time to stop or at least pause your relationship with alcohol? It's very strategic, and our community is full of strategic thinkers. So, right after summer, kind of less structured, more vacations, it can be a season of indulgence. Barbecues, beach days, weekend drinks. People tend to drink more in the summer. Now it's starting to cool off. We naturally tend to spend more time indoors. Pretty soon the days will be the clocks will be falling back. Do you guys like that? I don't mind the fall one so much, although those 4 o'clock sunsets, they are a lot. It's a natural time for mammals, for us, my dogs, me, to be inside. And what are we going to do with that time? Well, sadly, often people who are struggling with their drinking drink even more. I mean, think about it. You're not outside exercising like you could in the summer. The workload certainly doesn't decrease, does it? In fact, often it's increasing as the end of the year approaches. It's dark. It's dark, real dark. If alcohol is part of your routine, chances are it's going to easily become a bigger part of your routine. And that's before the holiday parties have even started. Not to mention seasonal affective disorder, which is more common than you'd think. When I stopped drinking, I did notice that my mood shifted in the winter. I just felt a little more blue at times. I recognize that part of that is because of the shorter days, not getting as much sunshine. There's also a lot going on, right? Expectations, travel arrangements, all of that stuff. Plus, just real life keeps on moving while you're dealing with all that. So, that's another thing. When you stop drinking, you get more in touch with your body and your moods, and you can make little adjustments. So, anyway, I did. And I got through it just fine. But again, if you're forecasting for the future, it's a good time to just ask yourself, is alcohol adding anything meaningful to my life during these last months of the year? What do you think? In Project 90, it's like training camp. And so if you come in, you're going to learn tools and tactics. Your brain is going to heal. You're not going to have the cravings that you may have in the very beginning. By the time the holidays actually get here, those are going to be in the past for the most part. So you're going to be ready to rock when you go to those holiday parties. So if you're already thinking, oh my gosh, I've got that Christmas party last year, I really overdid it. The next day was a mess. If you're already thinking that way, is now the opportunity to get clear, to get empowered. And so you're not going into those situations as your first run, being alcohol free. How would it show up? How would it feel to show up at a party clear headed, empowered, happily drinking something that's not full of alcohol? Might sound a little crazy. Trust me, it can happen. And it can happen before the holidays arrive. So, another reason that October is a perfect time for this reset is the focus on recharging and reinventing yourself. Chloe points out that this is a time for reflection before you get into that new year, new you mindset. Everyone does that. You're not like everyone. And so again, think of this as like a training ground for new routines, new hobbies, new self-care, taking care of your mental health in a new way. Are those things going to be as possible if you continue to drink? How about shaping up a little bit before the holiday parties start? How about not consuming all those calories of alcohol? What would that look like with your waistline? I know that I am pretty happy when I go to an event and realize I'm not drinking 630 calories worth of wine, because that's how much is in a bottle. And, 4 glasses went down pretty easy. 630 calories that I can choose to enjoy through whatever I want. That's actually really fun, very rewarding. So, by doing this now, again, you're getting ahead of the game. And if you're the type of person who likes that, and my guess is you are because you're listening to this, what would it be like to have that sober edge? Here at Alcohol Free Lifestyle, we're all about empowerment, right? So some people call it the sober edge, we call it freedom. We call it alcohol free lifestyle because it's not just a group of people who don't drink, it's a lifestyle. And you get to create it instead of alcohol creating it for you. So, if you're on board for this, what are some ways that you could make it work? Well, you can set intentions, not strict rules. And so, come from a place of self-care, right? Instead of coming home and it's already dark outside and I make dinner and then I sit down and watch TV and I drink. What would it feel like to say, I get to come home after a productive day that wasn't impacted because of a hangover? I get to come home and I get to do some yoga. I get to work on a puzzle. I get to read a book. I get to call friends and catch up. I get to take care of myself. I get to do things that I actually always loved, but didn't really do anymore because of alcohol. So you see the difference between intentions and rules instead of I can't drink when I go home. Find support. That's where we might come in. Have you taken a break from drinking in the past? Did it turn out the way you'd hoped? Could it have been better? Did you feel alone? If you went back to drinking after that break, do you know why? I did an episode a couple of months ago, on the importance, the research on social support, accountability, the importance of with whom you surround yourself, and how that lends itself to success in lots of areas of life, but certainly when it comes to releasing alcohol for a period of time. And so, if you've tried it on your own and you're not thrilled with how it went, find support. It always helps to have friends or family who are supportive. Absolutely. Not everyone has that. And if you do, I'm really glad. And if you don't, I also understand that loneliness of doing it on your own. Alcohol is a formidable foe. It's not meant to be battled on it by ourselves, right? Victory comes with teamwork. Yes, you're doing it, but you're doing it with a team of high performers, like minded people who are going to spark your creativity. What do you guys do when you come home? Oh, I get on a coaching call. Oh, I get on the Nights of the Round Table where we talk about business development. I get on the community connection call where we just get to know each other more and have some good laughs and go deep. And it feels like I'm sitting around with friends because you are, right? Great way to combat the loneliness of these darker months. And You'd be surprised. You may have people in your area, a few cities away, a train ride away. Some of our members go on vacations, their families. I mean, it's a real thing. And so, what would that be like? To have support, to have friends, people you'd want to know anyway. Yeah, everyone kind of comes in because they drank too much, but you have so much more in common. What would that be like during this winter arc? Believe it or not, there are hundreds and hundreds of things that you can drink that don't involve alcohol. I know, hard to believe, but it's true. I get so excited about my non alcoholic drinks now. That same little anticipatory dopamine hit I used to get when I was walking toward the wine fridge, I get it when I'm going toward my bar, which is filled with all sorts of non-alcoholic drinks. I've got herbs and edible flowers in my fridge and fancy glasses. So check in with yourself. How are you feeling about your relationship with alcohol as we head into one of the busiest times of the year? The time of year where alcohol marketers are going in hard. They are spending billions of dollars to get your attention this season so that they can tell you what your holidays get to be like. You get to have this much energy. You get to look like this. This will be the quality of your relationships. You get to have this many productive hours a day. What do you want? Let's find out. Give it a try. You know, the first of the year is going to be here before we know it. And whether you decide to go back to drinking after Project 90 or not is up to you. Up to you, meaning you will make an informed decision instead of alcohol making it for you. So go ahead and book that free discovery call. Let's find out what could happen. Maybe you're a fit. If not, that's okay. Booking the call is a huge step toward action. Maybe we can work together and use this time to clear your mind, renew your energy, and really, really set you up for success. Thanks for tuning in. I hope we get to cheer in the new year together. Until next time, have a great day. Take good care of you.
Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like to learn more about our stop drinking services, you can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com. You can follow me on Instagram at James Swanwick. Our YouTube channel is at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube, or you can send me an email at james@alcoholfreelifestyle.com.